YOLO, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 51 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen. Sorry. I'm your best host, Kristen. And today's topic is, there is a majestic grandeur in tranquility. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think that they could help. With that being said, I'm going to go over the positive words from the week. I'm just going to tell you what they are. All the definitions and everything I am putting out on Facebook, my Facebook story, as well as my Instagram story. So if you follow me on Instagram, it's The Best Blessed Life. If you follow me on Facebook, it's Kristen Haas, Kristinhass, 1 A, 2 S's. So Sundays was vibrant. Mondays was magnificent. Tuesday was luminous. Wednesday, the 27th, was ebullient. The 28th was generosity. And today, on Friday, I'm filming. The word is majestic. So that is why I picked that quote. Majestic is having or showing impressive beauty or dignity. So, I don't know, this quote just clicked with me, and it's a quote from Washington Irving, who was a writer. He was born in 1783 and died in 1859. He wrote Rip Van Winkle and Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which are probably two of his most famous ones. All right, and then while we are going to be making our, let me go over what we're doing today. That probably would help. Well, we're doing the positive words from the week, which I just did. I'm going to give you some updates on Jordan and Peyton and just life in general. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about mental health and making sure you're checking in with yourself and how to kind of work your way through a panic attack, which I have had before, and I know are sometimes seem like they go on forever, and I just wanted to share with you guys some of the tricks and tips that I've looked up and I've used and seem to be helping. So I just wanted to cover that with you guys for a little bit. And while we're doing that, we're going to make homemade granola with our homemade apple butter from last episode as some of our sweetener. Are you excited? Okay, let's get started. First, I'm going to get all my stuff out of the way here so we can kind of cook. Oops, sorry. So, we're going to make granola. And some of the things I have measured out already. In this bowl here, I have oats, rolled oats, and it's 1.5 cups. And then in here, I've sprinkled some flaxseed. I would say probably about 2 tablespoons. And then in here, in this measuring cup, I have sunflower seeds and pepitas, or raw pumpkin seeds. Okay, in this one I have a lot of dried fruit. I love dried fruit. So I have cranberries, raisins, dates. Is that it? I felt like there was so much more. Yeah, I guess that's it. Cranberries, raisins, and dates. And then in this one I have almonds and pecans. So I would say this is a 1/2 cup total, maybe, and this is probably 1 cup. So I figured between this, the pumpkin seeds and the sunflower seeds and the nuts, I was getting about 1 cup of those together. And then what we're using as our glue to kind of hold everything together, and I probably should have grabbed a bowl to mix this in, but it's because I'm doubling the recipe as well. I feel as though I am, at least not in the oats, but in some of the other things. So I've doubled the coconut oil. This is 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil, and I'm putting it into 1/4 cup of raw honey. And then to that, we're going to add, drip, drip, drip. To that, we're going to add our, or actually, we're going to add this to our apple butter. And if you've been following me on Facebook and Instagram, I have made a lovely bowl of granola, I called it, with this lovely apple butter and yogurt and granola and such. And then I also used it as a happy topping for my store-bought pumpkin spice waffles. So I thought, let's start breaking down our things that I've used the apple butter for and start incorporating it into other parts of the recipe. So we're going to mix this honey coconut oil mixture in with our apple butter. And it's probably about a half a cup maybe. I don't know, maybe I should. I'm trying to get the oil and the honey incorporated better together so it's Now, if you didn't have apple butter, you could definitely use applesauce as a sweetener. All right, it's starting to break up the honey a little bit. Okay. I'm hoping to get most of the honey off the sides of this by doing that. Okay. So that's mixed together. Okay. Maybe. It's taking its own sweet time, that's for sure. All right, and then I'm going to incorporate this into our apple butter. Okay, and then this is a kind of a cinnamon inspired granola because I'm a big cinnamon fan. And since we already have cinnamon in here, I was thinking about not adding it, but I think I've changed my mind already. So what we're going to do is stir into this little mixture combo I got going on here. How much cinnamon? I don't remember. Half a teaspoon. Half teaspoon of cinnamon, and then we're going to also add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. So I've made granola before, I've just never made this one specifically. Because normally back in the day, I used to make granola all the time, and I would use maple syrup as my sweetener. But the price of maple syrup has kind of gone up, so I think that I read something about that, but I don't remember what the story was. So we're incorporating the cinnamon into this little, I don't know what we're calling this. This is like our glue. That's for lack of a better word. And then we're going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt in there. Okay, I like the vocals that go with it. Alright. The nice thing about the apple butter is it's still got a little bit of chunkiness in it, whereas you wouldn't get that necessarily from an apple. I don't know why I'm standing so. Necessarily wouldn't get that from applesauce. Oh, this little combo smells really good. Okay. So now we've done that. Oh, I forgot the vanilla. And I think it's 1 teaspoon of vanilla in here also. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, no. Half a teaspoon. Not sure how I feel about that. I'm a big vanilla freak. One of these days I'm going to make homemade vanilla for you guys. Finding the vanilla beans is, I find them, but they're very, very expensive for one freaking bean. And I don't know that I'll get much vanilla out of one vanilla bean. I think you need a couple at least. Alright, so we've got the vanilla into our glue here now. Okay, we just got to keep stirring it because the coconut oil is solidifying here as we stir. Alright, so now we get to combine all the other stuff. Again, I'm still off camera. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, maybe I gotta move my chair. Let me move my chair. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna put all of our dry stuff together. They have us combining everything together, kind of mixing it as we go along, but I think I want to get all this stuff mixed together first. So this is our oats and our flax seed, ground flax seed. This is our almonds and our walnuts. This is our sunflower seeds and our papitas. And then this is our dry fruit. And I might even think about adding a little bit more oats. Because this almost reminds me of like a trail mix. And they didn't have as much stuff in theirs as I do. I think I am going to add a little bit more of the oat part. So bear with me. I gotta go under the counter here for a second. Actually, I don't know. Now that I have it stirred, I think it might be alright. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it actually. I like the oat part, but that's really just kind of what's keeping it all together, right? Alright, so now we're gonna stir all this together. Our little glue concoction. And if it's too wet, I probably will add a few more oats. I did pre-chop up the nuts, so they're like not necessarily crushed or minced or anything, but they're just kind of, I cut into them with oh my gosh. This is going to be my new favorite way to make granola, because my old recipe was just so, I don't know, what do I want to say? In depth? A lot of steps. How's that? A lot of steps. This is so much easier. And because the apple butter wasn't hard to make, it seems to be going, I could make, oh my golly. I could make this pretty regularly, I think. And the nice thing about any kind of granola, all right, it's starting to, I need to get it mixed up there. The nice thing about granola is that you can change up any of the ingredients. I mean, I would keep the rolled oats, and you know, you can change up the different kinds of nuts you want to use. You can change up the dried fruit. You can add fresh fruit. I was going to add an apple to this, but I don't know. I think I'm glad I didn't, because then I can add the fresh fruit later. But I definitely probably would maybe add it next time. We'll see. Oh my gosh, this smells so amazing. All right, so then what's going to happen is we're putting it on. I sprayed a cookie sheet. Ooh, there's more goo in here. Let me get all the goo. You gotta have the goo. Goo. Okay, feels pretty clean. I'm just gonna throw all my junk and pray to God this doesn't knock everything off the counter. All right. Hey guys, that was pretty easy, huh? I mean, I did prep a lot of it beforehand. I did mean to mention that you are supposed to melt the coconut oil, not just put solid coconut oil into your apple butter or applesauce. Like I said, you can substitute. And then you can always add fresh fruit. Once it bakes, it would kind of get a little bit dried out, so that might add a different texture to it. You can always add chia seeds. You can add different spices to it. This is just the kinds of things that I like in granola. I'm a really, really big dried fruit fan. My family, and I don't understand why, doesn't like raisins or any of that business. All right, so while I'm getting this baked off and everything, we're at 325 on the oven. And we're supposed to cook this for 12 to 15 minutes and then kind of flip it all over and bake it for another 12 to 15 minutes. So we're going to throw that in there. We're going to spread this out. You want it kind of in an even layer. And I have a really big cookie sheet, like a super huge one, because my kids were in marching band and regular band and drama, so I used to have to make treats all the time. So I can make this on a bigger scale even than this. And I have mason jars I can keep it fresh in. Yeah. So And I have more apples, so I could definitely have added a fresh apple. I wonder if I should. I don't know. We'll keep it basic for now. We won't know what the basic concept tastes like if we keep adding all the other things. All right. So this goes in for 12 to 15 minutes at 325 degrees. And then we kind of flip everything for another 12 to 15 minutes. Okay. All right. So we're going to start out with 12 minutes first. Play it safe. And then, I guess I could be cleaning up. Wow. Oh my golly. This microphone hates me. All right. So, updates. I'm going to give you an update on Jordan. He found a place to live. Woo-hoo! It was a big, dramatic thing. It was hard to find. But he did it. I tried to help as much as possible, but I wasn't having much luck. So, thank goodness. And so that's comforting, right? And so he gets to move in shortly. And it's a 1-bedroom, and he has the place all to himself. He has some time to reconnect, rejuvenate, kind of get himself back together after being kind of sleeping on a couch and stuff like that. So I'm very happy for him. So as you can see, other than the stuff that I have in the sink that has to go in the dishwasher, which easily could do that right this second, but I won't. That's the other tip I have for you guys when you're baking or cooking or anything of that nature. Your best bet is to empty out your dishwasher either the night before or before you start cooking. And then as you cook, rinse and plop them right into the dishwasher. I don't know why, it just always seems like a time saver. I know it's probably not. I'm probably just imagining it, but it seems to make things or cleanup at least go a little bit faster. All right, so we got about 10 minutes. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about just mental health. I have had issues lately, especially with this whole pandemic and everything. Just kind of getting out of my head a little bit and thinking of other things and doing things instead of just sitting and feeling sorry for myself. So I've noticed, and I've had them before, but I've noticed that panic attacks have been happening, and I don't like them. So yesterday I decided to do some research on how to better handle them. And what I read was kind of quite interesting in that normally when I'm having one, I'm of the like-mindedness to kind of get out of my head, do something else, try to focus on, or listen to music, or watch a movie, or something of that nature. But what I've read is that you should actually just acknowledge its existence, say, I'm having a panic attack, and then just know that acknowledging it seems to shorten it a little bit. It also helps with like the fast heart rate and things. And it does help you to take control of the situation. So if you're out of your head or you're like starting to feel like a rapid heartbeat or something of that nature, the thing I've noticed or what helped was just talking to myself, saying things like, I can do this, everything's fine, you are breathing, it seems like you're not, but if you're able to talk, you're able to breathe, everything is going to be okay, just don't ignore it, because it lasts twice as long and it usually is quite upsetting, and usually there's some residual effects, there's a headache or some muscle tensions. Sometimes that helps to like work those out a little bit, lay down, relax, and just tell yourself, I need my feet to relax, or I need my legs to relax. And yeah, I know nobody likes to hear someone tell them to relax, but if you're the one doing it to yourself somehow, or sometimes, I shouldn't say somehow, but sometimes it seems to help a little bit. So I've been doing that. Hot baths have been very productive. I'm a big proponent of hot baths, Epsom salt baths. I take one every day. It helps me to get up and move on a daily basis. Otherwise, I think the pain would probably be a little worse. And yeah, I don't want that. So, and I think sometimes the pain gives me a panic attack or an anxiety attack. And I know a little bit of I think there's a little bit of a difference. But there is an anxiousness or an anxiety that comes with a panic attack. And a lot of times you don't even know why you're having them. It's just, I don't know, trying to make you aware of something. So instead of just avoiding them, I have been just saying to myself, you're having a panic attack. You're okay. You can do this. And it seems to be helping. Now, understand I am not a doctor and I have no medical degree whatsoever. I am just telling you things that have worked for me and that it has comforted me. And so therefore, if that is something you would like to try, if you are not someone who feels comfortable trying that, please don't. It is important for you to make sure that you are staying healthy. So, but it has helped me. It is something that I read on the internet that is steps to walk through during this process. And I just felt it was important that I kind of get it out there. Because I don't know that everybody knows that. I think there's a stipulation about it, and I kind of want that to go away. It's not the symptoms you want to be having, obviously, but it all has seemed to help me. But if it doesn't help you, or you don't feel as though it would be something how you, please consult your doctor first. Okay? But I just thought I'd throw that out there because I felt kind of alone. I felt kind of like yeah. And just check in on people sometimes. Every once in a while it doesn't hurt to just say, hey, how you doing? I want to make sure you're doing all right. I think we all need to do that for each other. This world is can be a very intimidating place. And no matter what age you are, it still can be an intimidating and scary place. So trust me when I say I'm not putting this information out there as a medical professional in any way, shape, or form. And I am just giving you some helpful tips to maybe try, especially if you're on the phone with your doctor and you're still feeling this kind of anxiousness. So I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was something important to cover in this day and age. And it's okay to talk about it. That's more than anything the biggest thing I want to get out there. It's okay to talk about the fact that you're not doing okay. And I don't want to put that in quotes because okay, I put that in quotes because okay could mean something different for each person, to be honest. So, We got about 2 minutes before we get to flip our granola. I didn't want to be a downer, but I also wanted to cover something that meant a lot to me. And I hope that maybe it helps you in the process. It always could be the first step to trying something and then moving on to something a little bit more medically based. There's a lot of those nice online counselor services now. I don't have too many names of them, but I think that's helpful if you're really somebody that either works at home and can't get out a lot, or if you're just somebody that is not inclined to go to the doctor's office right now. I personally don't really want to, but I don't know. Breathing techniques are always another way to handle it. Breathing in for 6, holding it for 3, breathing out for 9. That seems to help. Just the counting process alone, I think, is pretty helpful. But I think it works for a lot of things. If you're nervous, I mean, there's a difference between having a panic attack and just being nervous. If you're nervous, sometimes that breathing concept helps. Stretching out your body sometimes helps alleviate some pressure. So there's different techniques you can use. I'm not one to try a bunch of different things at the same time. Try just dealing with the fact that you're going through it and you're just trying to say, I know you're there. It's okay. You can make your presence known, but I'm going to be the one that wins out here. I'm the boss. I'm in charge of my body. And just because you think you know what's going on, yeah, you know. Okay? So, and it's definitely made me feel a little bit lighter about it. Like, I've come at it like, yeah, come at me. Try me, punk. See what happens. That kind of thing. All right, somewhere in here, I meant to grab a spatula. You're telling me all my spatulas are dirty? All right, I guess I'll just use that. I know there's one in the sink, but I don't know where the other one is. All right. Oop. Now my chair's in the way of the oven. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. Oh, and one thing for sure. If you definitely are not finding any relief from any of that, and or you're having more panic attacks, then I would definitely see a doctor. But don't just sit there in agony, because they are painful. All right, so we're turning our granoli over here. Our bowly granoli. All right, at least trying to anyway. I have a feeling this might have to cook a little bit longer because I used a little bit more of the apple butter than they said. But I think once it starts turning brownish, I think and it's not wet anymore, that's going to be the big indicator, right? I'm going to go for 15 minutes this time. So I might have to come back to you after the time is up, because I think I talked a lot about what I was going to talk about. But I like to put a good spin on it. If that doesn't work for you, then definitely see a doctor. If you still feel like you're nervous about them, see a doctor. That's important too. So I'm not saying negate medical advice or don't get medical advice. It's just a tip to help control it a little bit. All right, now that I've gone through all that, I think the last little thing is to just wait for our granola to be done. So I think I'm just going to come back in about 14 minutes. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, I'm back. I'm mad because I stopped the video instead of pausing the video, so now I'm going to have to edit, gosh darn it. All right, so we only got a few minutes left. She looks beautiful. She's a beauty. I think other than just finishing up our granola and showing you what it looks like, I think I'm just about done. Isn't that fun? So yeah, try making your own granola, guys. It's not that bad. And if you don't have apple butter, like I said, use applesauce. And you get a nice, ooh, I'm talking without my microphone on again. Hopefully you can hear me. There's a lot of other different sweeteners out there you could try besides honey. If you don't like honey or allergic to honey, you can use maple syrup. Of course, I have it all twisted up again. Okay. So there's a bunch of different substitutions you could make. You could use the nuts, the seeds, the fruits that you want. Oats is typically a base for most granolas. You can always add chia seeds, flaxseed, any kind of nutrient like that in there. You won't even taste it. It'll be a little bit of a toasty flavor, but for the most part, flaxseed I don't taste. I put it in my yogurt, so it really has no flavor. It's just an added. I'm going to open this real quick and see if we are really going to be done. I think we are, guys. It's going to have to set for a little bit and kind of dry out a little more. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm probably just going to put this in the oven with the oven off now and just try and just dry the rest of it out. So it shouldn't get any more color. It should just take the residual heat from the oven and kind of just use it to. But it's done, and it's beautiful. The colors are on this are just not the greatest, but it is really colorful and beautiful. And I will be sharing pictures and all kinds of fun things with you guys on Facebook and Instagram. So, I guess with that being said, I've covered everything I was going to talk about today. And I just have to say, have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching.